The video shows a glimpse of what life was like for WNBA star Brittney Griner inside Russian prison. She spent her days carrying fabric because she was too tall to sit at the sewing tables where other prisoners worked. Her bed was too small for her 6'9" frame. Griner was arrested back in February for traveling with hashish oil, a substance banned in Russia. She was sentenced to 9 years in prison in August. Her release part of a prisoner swap for Victor Boot, a convicted Russian artist.
Breaking. A doctor claims new evidence reveals Brittney Griner's true gender, turning a WNBA dust-up with Caitlin Clark into a potential identity scandal. Is the WNBA hiding medical secrets? Stay tuned.
Apparently, Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man.
It began on court. Dream versus fever. Griner fouls Clark out, then clearly elbows her, followed by lip-reading of "trash, white girl." Outrage erupted, yet the WNBA stayed silent. Why?
It was nice to be back. It was nice to be back on court in a real game and everything.
Then, the controversy exploded. Doctors and analysts stepped in, pointing to Griner's bone structure, voice, and recovery as unusual for a female athlete. One medical expert said, "That isn't typical for a woman."
Caitlin Clark did not back down when the Atlanta Dream got chippy with her. Especially Ryan Howard was trying to get on Caitlin her nerves, but she kept cooking her. And they were face guarding her the entire game like she was prime Steph Curry.
There's a lot of bumping and like that. There's some words between the two players as Nas Hillman quickly.
And at the end of this altercation, you can clearly see Caitlin Clark say, "I'm not scared of you." And Howard continued to be provocative. And after Caitlin drew this offensive foul on Brittney Griner, it looked like she was pretty annoyed with her.
Brittney moved.
And here she gets clearly fouled, and again they were chirping at her afterwards.
31, they came in the season. Ryan Howard, Caitlin Clark finding a way to...
And here Brittney Griner picked up her 6th foul and had to sit for the rest of the game. You could clearly see what she was saying.
Talking about earlier today.
Experts argue that Griner's shoulders, skeletal build, voice patterns, even muscle recovery suggest male physiology. They've called for chromosome tests, hormone analysis, bone density scans.
But my first inclination is to say that this person is not a female. Firstly, because this was actually posted to Brittney's personal Instagram.
Social media further fueled suspicion. Fans unearthed an old Instagram story with unfiltered topless shots that evaded AI nudity filters, leading some to question both Instagram's algorithms and Griner's birth gender.
Women have a league. As far as I understand, it's mostly women without penises, but I leave that to you to figure it. Well, it's actually a little unclear because this Brittney Griner, a lot of people think she's a dude, but in any event, Brittney Griner is a black basketball player who some people think is a man. I don't know. I guess she's a woman. Let's just say she's a woman. Here's a chick, a black chick. Brittney Griner's a fine player, I suppose. We'll get to that in a minute.
This isn't Griner's first headline. In 2022, she was arrested in Russia for hashish oil, imprisoned 10 months, then exchanged. Before that, she faced domestic violence charges in 2015. Each time, the reaction was swift, but this time, the league is silent.
Fire you. Brittney, let me see something real quick. Brick, thank you. Get the hell out of here, yo. Jab stepping, just a brick. Swing and a miss.
Oh!
Yo, I ain't gonna fake it right now.
Swagger's down for
All right,
the
we
count.
can stop it.
At the center of it is Caitlin Clark. The America's sweetheart kept composure. She didn't retaliate, but fans called for accountability. Many question, would the narrative be different if roles were reversed?
So let's talk about it, guys. Again, allegedly, it could be any number of things, but my first inclination is to say that this person is not a female. Firstly, because this was actually posted to Brittney's personal Instagram. And when it comes to Instagram, they use a combination of like AI detection and plus manual surveyors, but specifically the AI detection to make sure that no explicit content ends up on the platform. So clearly whatever AI detection system was used when Brittney posted this and it stayed up for 106 weeks was not like, oh, this is a bare female chest, we have to take this down. It obviously assumed that Brittney was male, and therefore being topless on the platform was totally fine. It did not constitute as nudity.
The WNBA has refused comment. No flags, no fines, no medical statement. In contrast, they quickly acted in past physical incidents. Is this silence about protecting Griner, or something deeper?
She gets bodied, dude, like NFL linebacker style.
What? That is crazy.
Yeah. Look at this. Clock her ass, man.
Yeah, black women hate her.
Dude, I don't even see like LeBron get battered like this.
Yeah.
And he, like, somebody has bad breath and they breathe on him and he goes flying back.
Yeah. Yeah, she actually spoke out for black women. There's just a black women's league.
Yeah, she's like a leftist.
She's like a cuck for black women.
Yeah,
and
they
beat the crap out of her.
Well, that's what happens when you cuck out to people. They don't respect you.
Well, I think she did it to hope to get their respect. Yeah. That is not going to work.
Look at this.
You get way too much attention. You making all this money and endorsements. They're jealous of you. She's like the face of that league.
Yeah, and she's the only person like really putting butts in the seats.
Yeah.
The controversy raises hard questions. Should biological verification trump personal privacy? Should a player disclose chromosomes or hormones? When medical scrutiny crosses into gender policing, fans clash over what fairness means in women's sports.
Brittney is a weird case. He's a man, yes, that much is obvious, but not in the way that you think. He isn't trans. He's a straight cis male who was raised as a girl and given a girl's name by his parents. His mother is the insane one. She forced him to live as a female right up through high school, filled out all of his paperwork, including BC as female, and kept the charade going. He played on girls' sports teams because his papers said he was a girl. He had to keep pretending in college, stay in women's teams, and now he just has to keep barely pretending to stay in the WNBA. But in all other ways, he lives life as a man. He wears men's clothes, dates and married a woman, has masculine features, and takes masculine roles. If not for his mother's insanity, he would be a mediocre male player in the NBA. And honestly, that may even be a little bit generous.
This story isn't over. Lawsuits, league compliance reviews, and even FTC digital algorithms may soon be summoned. Expect subpoenas for WNBA medical records and expert analysis in the weeks ahead.
I feel sorry for him because all of his success depends on him maintaining the lie he's lived with for his whole life. Of course, Russia gives zero shits and will treat him as the male he is. Maybe it'll be a refreshing change from him. And this is with, of course, reference to the fact that there was some speculation that Brittney Griner was actually put in a male prison.
Beyond tactics lies human cost. Players like Griner and Clark are under intense scrutiny, mental pressure, and character judgments. Fans, especially young girls, feel both inspired and unsettled by the ambiguity.
The reason why is because, let me tell you something right now. I'm not going to go to word hate. I'm not going to be out there like RG3 was saying that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark or other players hate Caitlin Clark. But I will say this. I don't think it's specific about Caitlin Clark. I think it's what Caitlin Clark represents. See, it's through no fault of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark balls. She balled at Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing. Ended up as an all-star, ended up being fourth in the league in MVP voting, was the clear winner for Rookie of the Year. No competition whatsoever in that regard when it was really all said and done. We know what she brings to the table. But people wanted to hate because why? You had a bunch of players in this league that watched this young white girl come along and take the league by storm. And they resented it because they saw the marketing prowess that she had. They ignored the fact that you got chartered flights because of this girl. They ignored the fact that ratings were going through the roof because of this girl. Instead, they resented it because they said, yo, we were doing stuff long before Caitlin Clark got here, and y'all wasn't paying attention then. But now, the young white girl comes along, and y'all want to sit up there and shower all of this praise and all of this attention that was earned before she ever came along. The resentment is understandable, but it's not about Caitlin Clark. It's about what she represents. My point is, grow up.
Is this a scandal or a cautionary tale? Only one thing is clear. The WNBA stands at a crossroads between transparency and silence. As the drama continues, whose side are you on, and what's worth defending? The WNBA has officially entered crisis mode. A respected doctor just dropped a bombshell, questioning Brittney Griner's eligibility to compete in women's basketball after a controversial incident involving Caitlin Clark. And now, the silence from the league is deafening. It began with an elbow. A hard hit from Brittney Griner to Caitlin Clark during a nationally televised game. Millions saw it, but what came after was even darker. Viewers claimed they heard a slur. Body language experts called it calculated. And then total silence from the league. Now, a new voice has entered the conversation, a medical doctor with decades of experience. In a video that has gone viral, the doctor points to Griner's biological markers, physical structure, and long-standing rumors about her eligibility to play in the WNBA. This isn't new. Brittney Griner has faced these questions for over a decade. From her deep voice and powerful physique to her masculine presentation and personal choices, some say she has been protected by the league and media out of fear of backlash. But now, that protection may be collapsing. While the league remains quiet, Caitlin Clark has become the face of a revolution. Charter flights, record TV ratings, soaring attendance, all tied to her name. But with her rise came resentment. And now, she's caught in a firestorm she never asked for. If the doctor's claims hold water, this goes beyond basketball. This is about fraud, about scholarships lost, about careers ended. Legal experts are already whispering about lawsuits, and if the WNBA knew, this could become the biggest sports scandal since Lance Armstrong. The controversy has now gone international. Olympic committees, soccer federations, and even the NCAA are watching. Why? Because if the WNBA gets caught covering this up, every women's league could be next. This isn't just about basketball. This is about the future of women's sports. To make matters even weirder, AI-generated videos claiming to prove Griner's biological identity have gone viral. Experts warn these videos are misleading. But for many, perception is reality. And the league's refusal to respond is only adding fuel to the fire. The league has said nothing. No statement. No press conference. Not even a tweet. Is the WNBA protecting its image or hiding the truth? Either way, the silence is costing them. Fans demand answers. And if they don't get them soon, this could be the end of the league's momentum. This isn't just drama. It's not just about one player. It's about fairness, integrity, the future of women's sports. So now we ask you, what do you believe? Should there be a full investigation? Should biological standards be public? Or should sports simply ignore the truth?